guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Anita. If you're new here, do well to subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber, thanks, and thanks for always coming around. I'm super grateful for you guys. I'm thankful for all my subscribers. In today's video, I would be answering questions. So a lot of you guys have been asking me questions on my comment section on YouTube here and also my Instagram. A lot of questions, and I've been trying to answer all those questions, and I realized that some of these questions are really so important, and I really want to share them here and also answer some of the questions I haven't been able to answer. Guys, I know I've not really been consistent here and I've not been replying to some of your questions, but then, man, it's something else here, and it's just all about work. I've been very busy, and I hope you guys understand. You need to watch this video because I am going to maybe answer that question that you've been wanting an answer to, definitely. So I've written down the questions that I am going to answer you guys. Let's go straight into this video, right? I will be reading out the questions and also answering them. So first, I will be talking about the CV type, how to tailor your CV in order to get a healthcare assistant job. Repeatedly, people have been asking me this question: how do I do my CV? And some people have been sending their CVs to me for me to review. So I think I've tried my best to review some of this CV that have been sent to me. But here is to anyone who is finding it difficult to create a CV. So when you're writing your CV, if you've worked before as a receptionist, as a teacher in a school, it shouldn't come first. It shouldn't come first. Sincerely, it shouldn't. There is no business a receptionist has with healthcare assistant job. It's not related. You can add that, but I don't think it's really so important. You can add that later on. So now I'm sharing a secret to you guys. Sometimes the job advert helps you to build your CV. It did help me too. In fact, majority of the jobs comes with, I think, job description or something. There they will tell you about the job, what you would be doing in the job, personal care, changing catheter bags, doing this, doing that. Now, if you've worked in a hospital, I'm not saying you should go and do copy and paste. I know that people like to do copy and paste. Me too, I like to do copy and paste. But know that as you're copying, somebody else is copying that. This is a secret I'm giving you guys. You will see the job description. Just go and get what is in there. Work on it and put it down. Now you've worked in a hospital. I know that you've not changed catheter bags before or changed urine bags before. But hospital work is hospital work. You can foresee that somebody that has been in a hospital setting can change a catheter bag, and I don't even know how to put this thing. But please, when you're building your CV, try and tailor it to what will fit into that of a healthcare assistant. How can you be writing a CV for a healthcare assistant job, and you're writing that you've taught in a school for this year to this year, and you're writing that you've done this, you've done that? You can write that you have done a residential care in so home, and you've been doing this, you've been doing that in that home, you've been doing shopping errands, you've been doing this, you've been doing that. That is how your CV should look like. Or that you've worked in a hospital. Also, there is something else you can do. I mentioned about residential home. If you've lived with your uncle who was sick, or your auntie who was sick or something, you can write residential caregiver, so residents. You mention your whoever name that you want to put there. You've done this. Then while in the job, you were doing running errands, doing dishes, cooking. Carry all those healthcare this thing, put inside it. put inside it. Don't limit yourself. I've realized that some people, when they're writing their CV, they just write a little of their responsibility. Why are you limiting your responsibility? Whether you have done it or you did not do it, or you do not, you were supposed to do it in that job. So why not write extensively on your job roles, on your responsibilities in the job? That is just it. When you're writing your CV, so many people are also submitting it, but always bear it in mind when you're writing a CV that several other persons, just say 1 million of people, are writing their own CV and are going for that same job. So try and make your own to outshine the other person's own. I mean, that's what gives you an edge to get the job. So that's that for CV. I really don't want to talk much so that it will not look like I'm sending you to go and do what you have not done before to lie on your CV. But guys, come on now, you should make your CV, look very nice, so that even you as an employer, when you're reading your CV, you'll be like, oh, who has this CV? I need to give this person a chance. This CV is really very good. That is it. Some of the CV that I really saw, nobody is perfect. I'm not, but the CVs, if I'm to be an employer, if I look at it, I'll be like, what kind of CV is this? So let's just put effort before you keep running to most of all these job adverts and you keep saying they're replying unfortunately. Let's just take a chill pill and work on our CV. That is just it. Work on your CV, because it's generally like what you're selling yourself with your CV. That's the first thing. You're not there to tell them I can do this, I can. Your CV says it all. So why not give a very good CV? That's that for CV type and how to write a good CV. So the second thing we'll be talking about is my interview questions. So many of you guys have been asking me to tell you what they've asked me. I think I've replied a comment about what they actually asked me, but I will still tell you guys. I used to be very careful because I don't want to carry my properties and come back to Nigeria. There are things before you do certain things, you have to check if it's legal for you to do that, so that you don't get sued for it. So there are things you guys ask me, although I will answer them in this quick. You ask me to give you the name of my company, to to send you the link of my company, asking me if my company is still recruiting. Sometimes I just answer no. I answer no to the questions, and sincerely, there are things you don't let out to the public. In Nigeria, you can do that. But I'm praying for all of you guys that are doing this healthcare, that are on this healthcare journey, to get it. So that when you come here, you would see that I was not lying. There are things you don't disclose out there, especially if you've signed some documents. That is it. So you're asking me about my interview questions. I can just say few things that you can expect in an interview questions. Read up safeguarding. So many questions comes out from safeguarding and confidentiality. They ask questions about that. They might ask you, what do you understand by safeguarding? What do you understand by confidentiality? Then they can ask you questions on a real life situation whereby something happened to you concerning your client, and what are you supposed to do about it. They can ask you got to a client's home and you realize that your client is on the floor, he had a fall, and what are you going to do about that? Answering these questions, when you get to your client's home and you realize that your client has had a fall, here you don't touch them. In Nigeria, you go straight to them to wake them up, to ask them, what is wrong with you? No, here you don't touch anybody who you've realized had a fall, because you might worsen the situation of the person. So all you need to do is to ring the emergency, ring your office. While you're doing that, have a look at the person, know if the person is still breathing and all of that. That is it. Even here, there are so many questions. They might ask you a question about resuscitating people. So they would ask you, what if a person is not for resource and you realize that this person needs a CPR? My dear, you can't give CPR to somebody who is not for resource. Resource, I mean somebody that wants to be resuscitated. If you read about end of life, if you're having your online classes, is it online class? Yeah, the stuff I said you should do at Florence Academy or several other sites that you want to do it. If you're reading up for safeguarding, you're reading up for confidentiality, believe me, you can sit for the interview and you would pass. These people, when you're having an interview with them, it's not like Nigeria where they put all the pressure on you, but guys, prepare for your interview. But believe me, the interview is not always hard. It's not hard. That is it. It's not like in my country whereby everybody's putting pressure on you when you're having an interview and you're just tensed up. You get into an interview here and you're tensed. They will tell you, take your time, breathe, take your time. Nobody is telling you, come in, rushing you. Then when you go, one thing I've realized about my country, seriously, is sometimes the panel that holds an interview, are they called panels or something? I've experienced it in my life, and I can say with my full chest that sometimes, even in academic setting, some panels holding different, let's say, interview, or you're having a defense or something, they're just looking forward for you to flop. They're looking forward for you to come in and have this, you're fidgeting and you're frightened, and they're still bombarding you with this. It looks like they derive joy in doing that. That's what it looks like. But the truth is that here, when you're sitting for an interview, everybody is trying to encourage you to be the best candidate for the interview and just pass it. They don't have any business with you. They just want you to pass and get employed. So that's it. Then interview questions. So when you're doing some of these online courses about care, you just put in your mind towards it, because most of the questions that you would be asked might come from it. Some ask about the core components of care, the 6 C's to care. That's commitment, courage, confidence, I don't know, something like that. But when you're reading up all your courses, you would come across most of these questions that they would ask you. So when you're doing it, do it like devote your time. Don't just do it because I want to gain the certificate. Do it that I want to have a knowledge of this, because it's still going to help you when you come in here, and it's going to help you in the job. Though you're still going to be trained, but it's going to help you. Most importantly, it's going to help you for the interview. That's just it. So another thing I'll be talking about is the type of visa the healthcare job gives you. So it's a tier 2 visa, and it allows you to bring your dependents. That is it. It allows you to bring your spouse, it allows you to bring your partner, it allows you to bring your children, and it allows you to bring your boyfriend. Yes. So many people don't know about this. It allows you to bring, but I think your boyfriend will go in as, is he your partner or something? So if you can prove that you have been living with this person for a long time, I don't know how you want to prove that. Some do with pictures, some do with joint account evidence, some do with text messages. They print out their text messages. I'm actually telling you this because I am certain about it. Any message that I give out here, I try to be sure about it. So someone I know came here who was on the healthcare visa, came with the boyfriend. They are not married. They did not do the court marriage, or did not do the traditional marriage. They were just lovers living together for a long time. So the person came with her boyfriend. So this visa allows you to do that, because So many people have been asking this question, dependency thing. But in as much as you can bring your there are rules to that. There are monetary, whatever. There is an amount that you will have for it. I won't start calling out the amount because I haven't gone to gov.uk recently. So I don't know how much you're supposed to have in your account before you can be able to bring in someone as your dependent, because even your kids, there are specific amount of money you're supposed to have before you can bring them. So to just make sure, all these things are just to make sure that you can care for them or take care of them, yeah, when they are in here. So it allows you bring your dependents anytime you're ready to bring them. If you want to bring them while coming, it allows you to do that. The only thing you need to do is go to the gov.uk visa and immigration's website, then check out the rules. I keep saying rules. What am I supposed to call it? Like, so another question people do ask is it expensive to live here? I know in my first video I was talking about being in London. I was in London then, so I trained in London, but I am no longer in London. I am in excess. Yes. So living here, I really can't say. I have not, this is my second month. I have not really lived here for a long time, and I've not really lived in different places. But I will tell you that the little that I know is the cost of living here solely depends on what's it called, where you're living at the moment. So some houses in London, not some houses in London are really very expensive. I don't know if there are parts of London that have cheaper houses, but I'm saying London. Houses in London are expensive. So, but in some other places, you can see a shared accommodation for £350, £400, £450. But there are some places in London that you'll be looking for a shared accommodation and you'll be seeing 600, 550, £500. So I wouldn't say much about cost of living. Maybe if I have lived here for a long time, I would be able to answer that question. Then also shopping, groceries, food. African stores are expensive depending on what type of meal you want to eat. Most of the African stores are expensive, but every other stores, like just getting into the normal stores here and buying some stuff, it's not really expensive. I don't even know how to put it, but then the meals they eat here, and the ingredients or the food stuff for making the meals, you get them in supermarkets and they are not really expensive. Potatoes and all of the rest. But when you want to eat your okra is not even expensive here, sorry. So when you want to eat your egusi, you want to buy your African foods, so you do that in a different kind of stores. It's always Caribbean, African, Afro-Caribbean stores. So when you walk into a store like that, just know that you will be spending more. Then transportation. When I was in London, I was using an Oyster card. Oyster card is like a travel pass. It's a travel card where you just tap in and tap out train stations and buses as well. So they use it in London. But when I got to Excess, I realized that I couldn't use my Oyster card. You use a different kind of card here. You get the tickets for the buses and you can get your train pass, train ticket or rail card. So, and these travel cards or tickets, it depends on where you're going to or how long you're going to have it. Usually I get a travel card for 4 weeks. Before I was getting weekly. I realized that 4 weeks, getting it monthly is cheaper, so I had to get a 4 weeks card. That is a monthly travel card or tickets. Yeah, bus tickets. So it's not really so expensive, but so about the travel card thing and transportation, it's not really expensive because of the way I get it and because of the nature of my job. Now this leads me to the questions people keep asking about nature of the job. Listen, domiciliary care is stressful. If you're driving, it might be easier for you, but if you're not driving, it's stressful. So now what you do basically is going from house to house to care for people. So you're in house A for some minutes and you need to go to house B by this time and for some minutes, and you only get paid for the minutes you spend in the houses and not for the minutes or for the hours you spend while walking on the road to locate these houses or while transporting yourself to find these houses. I don't know if that makes sense. So now back to my transportation thing. It's quite cheaper for me because if I was to be getting just a to and fro ticket or going and I'm just paying for getting a ticket, like not getting my monthly pass, I jump on the bus like in a day, a lot of times, quite a number of times. And what this monthly bus ticket does when you have it is you just tap and you enter. Even if you go to a place for 20 times and get on a bus for 20 times, it doesn't count. But imagine if I was getting it, and you understand what I mean by that. So I'm getting on a bus in a day and I'm getting on a bus for like 10 times and I'm getting a ticket for 10 times, 10 routes. I don't know if that makes sense. So it's quite easier for me getting it weekly or monthly, other than just getting on a bus, getting a fresh ticket, going to where you're going to and come. Because domiciliary care, you're always on the road. If there is a break for you and maybe where you're living is far and where you have your next appointment is around that side, why are you going home? You're giving yourself much stress. Why are you going home? You just need to hang around and wait for your next call to go and answer the call. So you see, but the good thing is that sometimes you have more breaks in between, but sometimes it depends on the days. Sometimes you get breaks, sometimes you don't get enough break. The break given is just for you to get transported to the next place. That's the time that you would have. So I keep telling people, before you come here, make sure you understand what you're coming actually to do. Domiciliary care. Some people that have worked in a care home will tell you that that domiciliary care is easier for them. My dear, I've not even worked in a care home, so I wouldn't say, but I will tell you, stressful. The job is stressful. So the next thing I'll be talking about is do I like my job? People have asked me this question, if I actually like my job. I just started. Like I said, this is my second month. I just started, and I believe most of the people asking me these questions are people that are in this job and maybe that are looking for someone to talk to or anything. But I can't say if I like this job. I like to do care. I like to give care. But I really can't say now because I just started. This is just 2 months into the job. Another question is, where do I get links for this job? I talked about Cynthia Oluoma. I talked about her because sincerely, some people, they will just come into my Instagram. I'm human. They'll come to my Instagram page. They'll start bombarding me. Is it bombarding? They'll start firing me. Let me use firing for Nigerians as well that are here. They will understand. They'll start telling me, you don't want to give out your link. You don't want to give out your link. Cynthia Oluoma posts short videos. This is not an advert. I'm just saying these things to help you. Like I said, I am sharing my journey to you guys out there. So it's not an advert, anything. I have a sister who is into YouTube as well. If it should be an advert, probably I'll tell you guys that My sister posts short videos or that, which she doesn't do, but you can at least check out her page. Amaranzewi is her name. I'll still put it here. So Cynthia Oloma sends makes short videos on, and various other YouTubers. These people tell you about companies that are currently recruiting, but because some people just do it for the fun of YouTube, I don't know if you get, some just want to get views and all that. You yourself, you can make research on it. When I was trying to apply for this, I'm always on Indeed, I'm always on Glassdoor. Any email I'm checking out, I'm looking for the ones that are giving tier 2 sponsorship. That is it. Do something for yourself. Look out yourself. You want me to send links to you? I don't have links. I've stopped applying. If I was applying, when I was applying, I was actually sending links to my friend and also my cousin. So I would just see and I'll send to her. Yes, that was what I was doing. So if something is important to you, I believe you should what's it called, add effort, put more effort to it. I don't sleep most nights. I'm just on checking out links to what's it called, to send my CV to and check it out. So don't just wait for people to send you links. Search for links yourself. There are so many. I will keep saying this thing. So many healthcare jobs. But what I don't know now is if the tier people sponsoring are so much as before. But believe me, so many companies want people to come. They want people to come and work as healthcare. We are scarce. We are very scarce. In fact, if you're doing healthcare safe, you should even have some, because they are in shortage. So they are looking for workers. That is it. So just look out for these people. Sadly, I don't know if a lot is still giving out tiers, if they're still sponsoring, but always try and look out for yourself. That's all for now. So another question that people ask me is, do I think domiciliary care is better than care home? Be care home, or the other way around, care home is better than domiciliary care, working in a care home? I won't actually say, because I've never worked in a care home before. I'm only doing domiciliary care. So we all came here to make money, I understand. Yes, I know that so many people love to do care. They want to care, but if you are caring for somebody and you're not being paid, I mean, will you still do the care? So we all came here to make money. The only difference I've actually noticed is that when you get to a care home, assuming you're working from 8 in the morning till whenever, your hours starts to count. You get paid from that 8 to whenever your work is ending. But in domiciliary care, I've said it before, you're not getting paid for leaving your house, walking on the road, roaming around the streets to find a particular house that you need to get to. You're only getting paid for the minutes, for the hours you've spent in your client's house. That is all I can say for now. Between the two, I don't know which one is more stressful, but I am talking about the one I know, and I will still say it. Domiciliary care is stressful. Yes, it is stressful. So the care home thing, what's it called? I really don't know much, but if along the line I find out some disparities, is it disparities? If I find out some differences between the two, I could share to you guys as well to know. So someone asks, do I need to submit my certificate, school certificate? I keep answering this question, and a lot of people have been asking this question, and I've tried to answer them. Why are you submitting your school certificates? I think there is something you come across of claiming a post PG. I don't know what that means, but I think it's only when you're claiming that you need to show your certifications, like your school degree qualifications or something. But since you did not study anything relating to health, why do you want to submit your school certificates? Why do you want to prolong your stress yourself. They're not asking for that. Some people will tell you that they're submitting reference letter for visa application. They are not submitting. What are you referring? What do you want to submit there? The reference letter thing is for your company. They are the ones requesting for it, not the UK government for visa application. So why do you just want to give yourself load of work to do by filing documents and getting them and all of that? While you're even applying for your visa, you would see the documents that the important ones. It's okay if you want to submit it. I mean, it's just for them to have a look and decide on whether to give you visa or not. So they tell you these are the documents you would submit, and also any other one you feel is relevant. I think you come across something like that. They will tell you to submit this, submit that. Why not stick to what they ask you? What we want to just give ourselves work. We want to give ourselves work. You've been stressing yourself trying to write Ielts, trying to do this one, and at the dying minute of trying to achieve whatever you've done, you still want to give yourself workload. Is even someone studying public administration or business management, you want to stick in your CV to a health related. What's the correlation? What's the link? What's the nexus? Just leave it. Submit the important documents. So in case you hear a noise, just ignore it. I think they're working on the roads. So people are asking about reference. Yes, you need reference. You need reference. Your employer would ask you for reference. Majority of the time, most of these organizations will ask you to get your 2 reference from your most recent employers. So the 2 people that you worked for recently, they would ask you to get a reference letter from them, or they will ask you for your referee details. So when you send in your referee details, just like this is my they would ask you for your employer's name, they would ask you for your employer's contact, they would ask you for his email address. So what they do is that they will send maybe something to your employer, a form for your employer to fill. Yes, you need reference. So another question is, how was your interview conducted? I think a lot of scammers are out there, really very fraudulent people who want to reap from where they did not sow. So they are holding out whatever that they are holding and deceiving gullible people, vulnerable people to fall into their traps. So somebody was asking me that the interview is supposed to be done when? See, when you apply for a job, the employer would call you or contact you via email or contact you through any means. But you should know that you applied for a certain job and you're waiting to hear from them. So when they call you, they would want to schedule you for an interview. Some use Skype, some use Microsoft Teams, some use whatever means that they use. I am not so technologically, I don't know what's up with all this, but I used Microsoft Teams. I never had it in my phone before. Even Zoom, I never had it. Zoom was for talking to my other colleagues who were also employed, but for the interview was Microsoft Teams. So they would use that. Why I mentioned Skype was, I think my sister was interviewed through Skype, so I always try to know what I'm saying before I say it out. So I think my sister used Skype for her own interview far back when she was employed here. Then mine was what's it called? Mine was Microsoft Teams. So they would schedule you for an interview and you will see the people that is interviewing you and answer your questions. Sometimes it's not even only one person that interviews you. About 2 or 3 people would interview you. So because these people know that you're overseas and the only means of communicating to them is via video calls or anything, so they would schedule you for an interview. So anybody that is telling you any other thing apart from this thing that I'm saying, you should use your eyes and look at the person very well, like, you know, to understand what manner of interview the person wants to hold. That is it. Also, I've gotten questions on, I'm a nurse, I want to come to the UK as a healthcare assistant, I want to do this, I want to do that. I'll tell you what I would tell my cousin or my sister. Chill. Slow down. Why are you rushing? Why are you rushing? I know you want to come in here so badly. You want to leave your country so badly. And I know that Ielts has been frustrating you because the band required for nurses is higher. Yes. But do you think you can come in here as a healthcare assistant and do what healthcare assistants do, knowing your worth? Do you think you can accept the pay given to healthcare assistants, knowing what your friend who is here is earning as a nurse? Before we take step, I know that maybe when you, okay, fine, let's put it this way. You can come in, then with time, just come in with your license. That's a little I can tell you. You can talk to Cynthia, Oloma, you can talk to Amara and Zeri. They are nurses here. You can talk to them about it. But all I can tell you is, if you want to come in here, then later on you want to switch to nursing, it's fine. But coming in here, make your decisions properly. Make your decisions properly. Sometimes here, I'm just in my head, I'm like, I wish I studied nursing, you know. And I wish I'm here as a nurse. So, the thing is, just chill. Put effort. Try and write your IELTS and come in as a nurse. But if you feel you cannot get the band required for nurses and you feel that you can do it, you know, it's frustrating. Some people don't know this. Majority, 100% of the reason why we are leaving our country is because our country is not good. We just want to make a better living. We are looking for greener pastures. It's not like 100% of us wants to do this job. So it's a sad one, but I'm telling you guys now that you might come in here and you see the things that some of this we go through. Let me say we, don't let me not say some, that we go through, and you tell yourself, I wish my country was good. You know, something like that. So ask yourself questions before you make that bold decision. I'm not saying you should not come in here. You can come in, you can do whatever you want to do, but tell yourself, is this what I want for myself? Okay, so someone is saying, kindly advise or do a video on which job to take, I believe, while I'm still in the job, like which other jobs you can do to make money. So while you're here, it depends on the kind of shifts you're having. It depends on the kind of days you get to be, the days off you have. So if you've got enough days to do other jobs, you can book other jobs. Yes, you can book. I think my sister, they call it agency jobs. I have never done one, and that's why anytime I'm saying something that I've not done before, my mouth used to shake. I've not done anyone. I've not booked an extra one because I try to rest. Yes, I know that we all came here to make money, but believe me, the day you're going to walk out on that road and you slump and something goes wrong, you will just be sent back as a corpse and your family would not really, you know. So I'm just trying, let me not just dwell much on this. It's just, you have to check your capabilities, if you can do this, how much you, how you react to stress when being stressed, what your body looks like. If you want to be camel, you want to be Jackie, you can work and work and work and earn your money. I mean, money is the most important thing. So, but your health is really, more important. That's the most important thing, actually. So you need to take care of yourself. So yes, you can be in this job and be doing other jobs. You can take up other care jobs and still book extra shifts and get your money. That's it. So many people have been asking me about the courses I took in Florence Academy. Then some of the courses also that they need to take. You can do manual handling, or I think some people call it moving and handling. You can do safeguarding. You can do it's called safeguarding policies. You can do infection control. You can do medication or administration of medication, something like that. You can do confidentiality. You can do dementia, respite or end of life. You can do epilepsy. There is a lot. You just, anyone you lay your hands on, just do it. But most importantly, try and do safeguarding, confidentiality, manual handling, medication. What else? Yeah, just do it. Then coming to this question, somebody asked to do a video on Ielts, and I've been getting questions on where did you write your Ielts, how did you do it, and all that. You can book your Ielts online. Let me start with this. You can book your Ielts online. Just check out the centers and the centers that are close to you. You can book either from British Council or from IDP. I am not advertising for these people. I booked, if you have been watching my videos, I first booked under IDP and realized I booked the wrong IELTS. Then I had to book under British Council. Check the centers that are close to you. Some do hold classes on IELTS, but why I didn't go for my classes, I didn't have money. I didn't have money to waste. Something that I can do online. I was doing some online reading. I was downloading materials. People who have written IELTS were sending materials to me. My sister was also sending materials to me. YouTube was there as well. Practicing speaking tests, listening, and all of that. And what is required is just band 4. Just for you to get 4.0 in all your skills. So I felt there was no need for me to pay anybody for the classes. If I was doing the academic one, it's quite hard. So I would have maybe went for the classes paid. But you just need 4.0. You went through secondary school, you went to primary school, you were doing debates in primary and secondary school. English is English. English is English, actually. And you're not needing to get 9.0, 8.0. You just need 4.0. So just get yourself prepared. Whichever way you want to prepare yourself, just get yourself prepared. Then as for the tips, if some people meant for me to give them tips for the speaking skills, all I can say is be confident enough. For your listening skills, now that one that's one. So for the speaking skills, if you skip a part, just continue. Try and move to the next one and keep listening to your audio, because if you skip and try to figure out what you missed, if they pronounced it correctly, if you're trying to get the pronunciation to write it, you will keep skipping your other questions, and it's always disastrous, because by the time you figure out that you've missed a lot, your audio is not waiting for you, it's still playing. People who have started their classes on IELTS listening will understand what I'm saying. So if you keep skipping, my dear, you'll be losing a lot. So it's better you skip and forget that you didn't grab number 1 and move on to number 2 and you grab number 2, than that you skipped number 1 and while trying to think about number 1, you skip 2, skip 3, skip 4, keep skipping until you realize that, oh, I'm not even, So that's just all I can say. Then for the reading test, always start with the easier ones first, the ones you're sure of. There is one that is just filling the gaps. You just lift them from the sentence and they're just there looking at you. The answers are there. But there are ones that you keep trying to read, understand, and check if the same if it's the same, it means the same sentence that they give you. That one is always, it demands critical thinking. So just start with the very simple one so that you're sure of this, because you're being timed, so that when they tell you time up, you can go and write when your time is, you can go and write all those ones that you know that even in a normal sense you won't have got, you don't know them, you were just wasting time on them, you get. So just go straight to the easy ones. Then what else? The writing, it's always letter, informal and a formal letter, or they would ask you to write an argumentative essay or something, or a narrative essay. It's quite easy for someone that has gone through primary school, secondary school. I mean, you just try. It's 4.0. So, but if you still want to pay someone, you can pay. So guys, we've come to the end of this video. We've actually got to the end of this video, and I would want you guys to always keep having hope in yourself. Keep striving. Don't give up. Don't say, oh, I've been getting, unfortunately I've been getting this, I've been getting that. So many people have also messaged me telling me that they've gotten this offer, they've gotten this. So I believe people are still getting. So don't ever give up. Then if you've not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? What did I do to you? Subscribe to my channel now. It won't, you're not using money to subscribe. So subscribe to my channel. Always try to be interactive in the comment section. Say something. Even if I'm not just there at the moment to reply, I'll always try to reply when I come across it. Until then, see you guys in my next video.